Good morning. I call to order the February 4th, 2020 meeting of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick.
Here.
Commissioner Sparks.
Here.
Commissioner Vidrickson.
Here.
Commissioner Weiss.
Here.
Commissioner White.
Here.
I ask that you please stand and join me in a flag salute followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We now move to the public forum portion of our business where citizens may speak on county business that are items that are not on today's agenda. Does anyone wish to address the commission?
Morning.
Good morning.
Joan Ratzlaff, Salina. I'm representing Salina Area Workers Coalition today. My dad was born in 1926. He's still living. He was born into a Mennonite community in the Gypsum Hills of Oklahoma. And some of his relatives migrated to the west, Oregon, California, Washington. His family made it to Kansas. A very interesting story. Would you believe they came in a covered wagon in 1934? I mean, really. With the chickens and driving a cow. But the point is, people were leaving because they couldn't make a living. They were starving. And my dad said to me once that those who had the means to leave did, and the rest had to stay. And to bring it to Saline County, we have estimates from the Census Bureau that our population has been declining in the last several years. And we feel that, in Salina, I think most of us would agree that our wages are low, and that could be a major reason for that. And so we want to know, what is a wage that we can make a living on? And so one of the friends of the Workers Coalition, Phil Black, has been sponsoring some community discussions, and this next Sunday, February 9th, he's going to have a community discussion on what is a living wage. It's free, open to the public, February 9th at 7 p.m. at Martinelli's in their banquet room. So I wanted to invite all you and the public.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else wish to address the commission? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for regular business. That moves us to the consent agenda. Or is there any items that a commissioner wishes to remove from today's consent agenda? Hearing none, we will approve the consent agenda. Item number 1.
Policy 40.15, expense of travel for county business. Marilyn Lehmer, Human Resources Director.
Good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you is Policy 40.15.
Your mic. Turn it on. Oh.
It's Policy 40.15, which is the expense for travel for county business. The rate went from 58 cents per mile to 57.5 cents per mile, so it's updating that policy.
Is there any questions or comments from commissioners? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the changes to Policy 40-15, expensive travel for county business as recommended by staff.
Second motion.
Been moved and seconded that we approve Policy 40.15, expense of travel for county business. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion does carry. We will move to item number 2.
Policy 40.27B, Saline County Drug and Alcohol Testing by Marilyn Lehmer, Human Resources Director.
Good morning again, Marilyn.
Good morning. This policy had a couple updates to it. Last week, the drug and alcohol testing policy was updated due to a mandate that employers have to use a secure database, and so we updated that language within the policy. We also updated the list of applicable positions. We had a couple outdated titles in there, so we updated those.
Questions from commissioners? I think we've probably all reviewed this, and makes it pretty simple. I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the changes to policy 40-27B as requested by staff.
Second the motion.
Been moved and seconded that we approve policy 40.27B, Saline County Drug and Alcohol Testing. Further comments? All of those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you.
Item number 3.
Planning and zoning update. Tim Hamilton, Planning and Zoning Administrator.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners. It's been almost a year since the agreement with Dickinson County to share my services. I think it's working out pretty well. We had Ginny Winholtz, who was the previous administrative assistant. She retired on March 25th, 2019. And she was replaced by Kathleen Malone Crouch, who assumed the duties of the Planning and Zoning Office and Environmental Services, along with the emergency management duties on March 25th. Our income for 2019 for the department was $90,720. That was through, and the way we've gotten it broken down is we had 5 alternative wastewater system permits, 115 septic permits, 37 water well permits, 3 lagoons, 102 real estate transactions, 93 paid water screenings. We do offer free water testing through the farm show in March. And so I don't have a number on those that were free, but 93 water screenings that were paid, 79 building permits, and just as kind of I've got an asterisk down there, and to kind of clarify, 79 building permits that have in 2019 that were actually completed. 2018's, you'll see 88 building permits. That was permits that were actually applied for, and that's the discrepancy there. And so it's there's just a variation in how the bookkeeping was done between Ginny and Winholtz and Kathleen. So it's just how we do things currently since last year. So. As far as we also had 2 lead investigations and 2 radon investigations for environmental services. The Planning Commission, the board held 2 public hearings in 2019 to consider the following: 1 minimum maintenance road request, 3 subdivision exceptions, and 1 transfer of development rights. We did appoint 1 new member, Kai Woodrich. He was put on in 2019 as well. The goals that we have for 2020. The main one is the comprehensive plan and zoning code updates. Currently, the comprehensive plan for Saline County was adopted back in 2008. The state usually recommends counties update their plans every 7 to 10 years. Given the age of our current plan and recently completed study of by Fort Riley of the proposed unmanned aircraft system corridor, which would affect a really small portion of Saline County down in the southwest corner of the county. An update of the plan would most likely be required. The North Central Regional Planning Commission may have funds available this year to counties that are subject to that study area to assist in the updates of both the plan and the corresponding zoning regulations. And just to kind of point out that the Fort Riley to Smoky Hill unmanned aircraft system corridor study that was done back last October was the reason that this comes up now is because one of their goals that they recommend in this plan is that the counties that are affected by this particular change, look at their comprehensive plans and their zoning code to update it accordingly to make sure it matches whatever the goals of this particular plan are. So, and I think that Doug McKinney last month kind of gave you a brief overview of that when he gave his presentation. So with that, that's all I've got.
All right, are there any questions or comments from commissioners regarding the Planning and Zoning Department? I'm happy to hear that the cohesiveness of using you by Dickinson and Saline County, and it becomes a savings to both counties. And really, I think there might be something else, but this seems to me that kind of the first test that we really used for department heads to share with someone else, kind of outside the box thinking we were having an issue attracting a planning and zoning director and having enough for them to do. And so it seems to have worked out very well to use you with Dickinson County, and we're happy to do that. So, Commissioner Weiss, did you have a comment?
I was just going to say, if we want to compare apples to apples as far as building permits, we would turn to the graph you have, and there were 72 in 18 and 79 in 19 that were not just applied for, but...
That's correct. The 72 was the number that, again, Kathleen's predecessor kept account of completed paperwork and not completed permits. That's a different, it's a 72 permits that had completed paperwork turned in, but it was not, but the number that I gave you on where it said applied for, that means that it was applied for, but there was not complete paperwork turned in. And so there was a little discrepancy in the way that the different bookkeeping styles.
All right, further comments? Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
We'll move to item number 4.
County Administrator's update.
Morning, Phil.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. County Administrator Philip Smith-Haynes. Just a couple items to update you on this morning. Meetings that I've attended over the past week have included the Employee Management Partnership. They had their meeting. It was the first time I got to experience that group. Did appear on the Friendly Fire program on KSAL again. Of course, attended the Jail Town Hall meeting Thursday night, and last night was at the Smolan City Council. Upcoming events this Thursday, both Hannah and I will be at the winter conference for the Kansas Association of City County Management at Wichita State during the day, and then that evening we'll be at the Chamber Banquet here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. Next Monday, I'm planning on doing a tour down at Kansas Wesleyan University, and then, depending on weather, going to attempt to make it out to the Brookville City Council meeting. That's all I had for this morning.
All righty. Thank you very much. We'll move to item number 5.
Commissioners' comments.
And I'll start that by saying that Phil has already mentioned a couple of them that I also attended. That is the jail town hall meeting that I think went very well. We're looking forward to the next one, which will be
February 27th.
February. I'm jumping a month ahead.
At 6 p.m. at the College Center on the K-State Polytechnic campus, 2310 Centennial.
All right, mark your calendars. I also was invited to the employee management group to hand out the awards for our longevity, 5 and 10 and 20 years or whatever they were on that board, and made a few comments regarding the city and our relationship with that group. Friday, I attended a luncheon for local county highway officials, and it was kind of interesting to hear the comments, and it continues to be similar problems and issues county to county, and that was the District 2, which is north central Kansas. I think there are about 16, 17 counties in that, so it's always nice to hear from someone else and see what their issues are also and their plans. So are there any other comments from commissioners or updates?
I will mention Thursday afternoon, I attended a work group on the county jail project, and that Thursday evening attended the town hall jail project, and Monday evening met Phil at the Smolin City Commission meeting, so that's about it.
All righty, thank you. Anyone else? That having been said, I will take a motion for adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn today's meeting. All of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.